This is a classic IKEA bonsai tree, Ficus ginseng. You can buy in every IKEA. I bought it in 2015, and I've only started working on it during the last 10 years when my bonsai interest really sparked, when my father went out in nature and collected a lot of yamadori and all that stuff. But I'm using the tree's original branches to establish the sort of structure of the tree, and I'm gonna graft on some other kind of ficus later so they don't evolve these gigantic roots under the ground. But it's definitely a work in progress, and I don't think it's ever gonna be the perfect tree, but I'm gonna try to find my own way. But it's not the kind of way you want a classic ginseng tree to look. But yeah, I'm just going as and as you can see on the tree, some of the branches up the tree on the top is a lot thicker than the ones down closer to the ground, so I'm gonna have to work on that. It seems to be one of the most occurring problems I have with all my trees, but we'll see how it goes in the future. I'll make another video once I graft it. And that's what I'm planning to do with the bonsai part of this channel, is regularly posting the same trees so you can follow the process. This is a cutting I made from this tree you saw before, and now I'm really gonna experiment grafting here. I bought some grafting tape because I've tried grafting on other branches in the past, but unsuccessfully. They died. But I hope this grafting tape is the key and what I'm missing on my trees. It really seemed to work. It ties very closely to the branch and closely, so I think it will hold on to the moisture, and that in that way make sure the branch will survive. But if I successfully graft on these new branches, it'll be a lot easier to make a cool branch structure, because they grow a lot slower than the original branches on the ficus, so it'll in its own time be a more interesting tree. And I'll report back when I see if it survives. It's been like, currently when this video is put up, it's been like 3 or 4 days since I did it, and the leaves are still green. But again, as I said before, time will tell if they survive, and I'll just keep on trying till I figure it out. I don't know if I need to cut the draft stuff in the middle of the branch or put it under the bark. So now I'm just experimenting. This is the western red cedar from the last video. I'm cutting in the branches again because all the branches are growing vigorously except for the one very thin branch I want to grow to make the structure of the tree like symmetric and make the tree have branches on both sides like I want it to have. But I hope it works in time, but I'll continue to cut the other branches over and over until the branch grows. I worked on a tree of the same species in the last video. It is a shrubby cinquefoil, which is very good for bonsai, as I can understand on the internet, but in my opinion very difficult to work with, because they're, in all the trees my father and I dug up in my old apartment building, they are thicker in the top of the trunk than in the bottom, and that's not what you want in bonsai. So I find it quite difficult to thin out the top of the tree, as you can see in the video, and I'm not really satisfied with the result. Because I don't know if it will survive or if the structure of the trunk I've chosen is correctly, but it's a learning process. If it dies, it dies. That's what bonsai also is. But yeah, I've been trying to thin out the top, and it's, as I say, I have very difficult time working with this tree, and I've just turning it around and speculating what to do. But I ended up with a result, and I'm okay with it. We'll see if it survives the winter, and then in the spring I'll make a smaller pot for it, a flatter one, to establish a good root structure. Here I'm cutting off the edges of the plastic pot which was planted in, so there's more room for me sawing in it. I didn't expect this cinquefoil to be so hard. The wood is so hard. It took me like 10 minutes to cut through this little piece, but I guess they grow very slowly, and that's the reason. The slower, often a tree, when it grows very slowly, it's because the wood itself is very tough and hard. So that was a struggle, but yeah. And the tree here is pretty much half this video. So it really took a long time. I think I spent like more than 2 hours on the tree, which is probably not even much for a bonsai master, but it's much when it's on a yamadori and it's never been worked on. You just need to prune it very hardly and establish a general structure of the tree. It's not like an old worked upon tree you've had for years, but yeah. But I'll, in the near future, update on the trees if they survive or if I'm working on them again, and if my techniques or my ideas, if they work out. So yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be time-lapsing me working on bonsai trees. That's gonna be the bonsai part of this channel, is gonna be me time-lapsing and working on the trees and trying to explain what I'm doing during the time-lapse, so that I can, in a short time, in a short video, I can work on a lot of trees and show a lot of my trees, and then show how the trees become better and better over time. So yeah.